Hi everybody, Melissa Klein here, and I'm here to talk to you about fountain pens. Now, I have in the past, but not specifically around doing cartoons and drawings. And this is a variety of fountain pens that I'm currently using. I usually use fountain pens for journaling and a little bit of drawing in my journals, but my journals are vastly about more about the writing actually. But this is jet pens. They have I love pocket fountain pens because you can carry them around in your pocket. And this is an inexpensive one because I tend to lose them. I hate to say it. But sometimes these cheapies, it's only a few bucks, I think $3 or $4. And or this one might be slightly more than that, but under $10. But I find that they kind of stick after a while. Now, this one is kind of my mystery fountain pen. I believe it's a Parker, and I got this Waterman ink cartridges because I was having some problems with the flow with it. And yes, I look up these things. It was a little bit more expensive. I got it at Olympic Stationers. I probably paid around $15 for it. I'm sure under $20. It was several years ago, but it's been like kind of a reliable pen that I kind of forget about. But then when I pick it up again, I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually a pretty decent pen. And I feel like it's a very good value, and I've had it for quite a few years. And I am doing a kuka drawing of my dog. So there you go. And actually, this was a chance too to show you, the fountain pens are actually pretty wonderful for drawing because you can get a lot of different line qualities. And if you turn them upside down, you can get a very fine line. Kind of depends on the flow of it. Now, here is this brand, the Moon Man, which is my latest kind of favorite thing. And the thing I love about Moon Mans is that you don't need to buy cartridges for them. You can put the ink directly into the barrel. And that's just fantastic because for somebody like me, I just whip through cartridges like nothing else. I'm using Noodler's ink. You get them in Noodler's is also an amazing company. You can get their stuff with a huge variety of all rainbow colors. This is Peacock, and I have drawn a pissed off peacock. And yeah, that's Mr. Peacock to you. I'm laughing too because I'm like, how I did that line on there was not great. Now, this one is a Nemosin, and I'm showing you that I actually have a cartridge that you can fill from an ink bottle. So it's a refillable cartridge. And this one, I like okay. I think a lot of what's going on for me with this one is the cartridge. I find with these refillable cartridges, I every so often will have to screw them down a little bit to release the pressure so that they'll flow nicely, and that's irritating to me. But Heart of Darkness is the ink that I'm using by Noodler's, and it is nice to be able to refill it from the bottle of ink rather than go through a gajillions. This one was, I think I was feeling a little flush and it was on sale. This is another Moon Man fine nib, and it kind of came as a set. I got it on Amazon. And I'm using the Noodler's red black ink, which actually to me looks like a sepia. I don't know what I was thinking, because actually red black would be a sepia. But what were they thinking? Why didn't they call it a sepia? I don't know. But I decided to do a redhead. Oh, and this is funny too, because it's hard to tell right now because my hand's in the way. But I did her hairline too low, so I covered that up with sunglasses. So, it is true with ink, you can't go back, but you can add things to hide it. And I'm like, oh, she's looking a little I don't know, haggard or something, or, maybe had an awkward transition from male to female or something. These things happen. Let's see. Oh, this is a bent nib Moon Man. I love bent nibs. You've seen them. I've talked to them about them with with the dip pens, and I like the bent nibs because you can get a really wide variety of lines from very, very thick to very thin. Um, and and you can again turn them upside down, get super fine things. So I don't like to switch between my pens too much. I tend to like, I'm like, I want to pick it up and I kind of want to use it for the project. I might use one or two things, but I just, yeah. Now, here's where I'm going to add water and just see, because the general thing with fountain pen inks is that they are usually water soluble. And so, now this cartridge, I didn't say what it was. It's just, it was like a generic cartridge that was kicking around. And I'm not that impressed with it. Now, the Waterman ink, though, wow. Talk about like a thick black, and it's almost kind of like one of those things where if you've ever gotten as a little kid, I used to get these, they were like coloring books, but they were like paint dots, and that you would just add water and like it would sort of reconstitute into paint. This is kind of how it feels like with this. And this is a way too, like if you are looking to just do black and white panels for some of your work, I think this is a great way to work. Get a pen. It doesn't have to be fountain pen, but that's has water soluble ink, and then you can go back into it and like add all these like halftones and cool things. There's a wide variety of what different things will go do. Now, this really surprised me, and I feel like I need to go back into that Heart of Darkness and be like, all right, what did I get? Something that was like a more permanent, like archival black ink or something, but it is not running or moving at all. Well, a tiny bit. I take that back, but I expected it to behave more like the Waterman or like the peacock ink, and the red black is behaving more like how I thought it would. And again, this is no surprise. This is the Noodler's Heart of Darkness. I can get a little bit of run, but that might be actually kind of nice too if you want to like add watercolors into it and you want to have it basically stay put. But if you really want to have it stay put, go with your India ink. So, all right, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. And they are like cats, fountain pens, very particular.